All right, so this has been one of those highly requested videos, and it is definitely time for an update. So let's get into it, y'all, because we got a lot to talk about here in Casa de Alcalá. As you can see behind me, it is a mess. And we're gonna get into it because today's video was titled, What I Wish I Knew Before Moving to Tampa Bay. And if my house isn't any indicator of the potential pitfalls that you can have when moving here, I don't know what is. Now, if this is your first time joining us on this channel, I talk about all things Tampa Bay, what it's like to live here, what it's like to work here, what it's like to play here, the food, the dining, the outdoors, the beaches, and the sunshines, and the hurricanes, unfortunately. And a little over 3 months ago, I think almost 4 months ago, I sat in this very space. It looked pretty darn similar to what it does now, and talked about how our home flooded during Hurricane Milton. And as you can see, we are definitely still displaced. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of insight here. Now, this is not one of those fun videos to talk about, but you know, mistakes get made. And over the last 3.5 years, we've helped over 100 families relocate to the Tampa Bay area. And here's one thing I am very proud of. None of them are living through anything like this. But Juan learned the hard way. And I'm gonna explain what happened to our home, the things that you should be really focused on when you're moving to the area here, and why this video is going to be important for you is because you don't wanna make those mistakes. We're right in the middle of a full-blown renovation now. It went from a, hey, let's get back in the house to let's do everything. And that was a choice, so I'm letting you know that now, and some of the decisions we've made and things we've uncovered too have led us to just go ahead and go all the way through with it. And I wanted to give you guys an update. You know, a lot of our viewers have been asking, hey Juan, what's going on with your home? And if you can see behind me here, you can probably still see the RV outside that is on my lawn that we're living in. And that was not the goal. If I knew we were gonna be out of the house for 4, potentially 5 months, we would have rented a place, but here we are. So let's give you the quick nickel tour if you don't mind. All right, so this is where the kitchen was last time you've seen this video. As you can see now, it has been completely removed. Kate has decided that she wants a 10-foot island here so we can do everything with the family, which is great. The flooring is starting to go in. Man, this just happened over the last couple days, and I gotta tell you, it's one of the most exciting things for us taking place. As you can see, we've got electrical hanging down everywhere. I know it's dark in here, the video's not great, forgive me, y'all, we don't have lights. But you can see them up here. Maybe if I climb up here. Yeah, let's do that, right? Let's do that, you guys can see it. But the lighting is coming down. We're doing all recessed lights through the house. They've reworked all the texture in the home, and we're doing some really cool stuff. We're adding a half bathroom. We're redoing all the bathrooms. Every room in the house is being redone. And my wife is getting the home of her dreams. Now, that isn't, this is not the way we wanted to get it. We loved where we lived, and the house didn't need anything. We wanted things and we wanted to update them, but it didn't need anything. And I shared with you, we went through the whole journey of making an insurance claim. We're in a non-flood zone, 43 feet above sea level where we are right now. So we did not get wet because of the storm surge with the hurricane. We got wet because my neighbor is 3 foot higher than us in the back. They were built 10 years after our home. And the 2 neighbors on each side of us were both 1.5 feet higher than us. We got 12 inches of rain and a little bit over 6 hours. And Juan's house and Kate's house is the lowest home in all of that mix. And that's why we got wet. Now, we only got a few inches of rainwater in the very back of the house. And then what happened is the rest of the home actually sucked the water up from the concrete. We had hardwood floors in the bedrooms, and we showed you that as well. And water got underneath that. And the hardwood was not real hardwood. It was that engineered stuff they used to put back in the 90s, which is like really plywood. And it doesn't do well with water. So all that had to come out. And then that led us to the point of working the house so we don't have to deal with this ever again. Now we're doing outdoor projects, which I will of course update you guys on how we're gonna mitigate the water. We haven't had to do any of that yet. It's been the dry season. We've been really, really fortunate, but we're gonna use some drain tiles and things outside. I'm gonna get you guys to that. But ultimately, I think you guys should take a tour. So let's do that together, okay? So I'm gonna take you guys with me here. So what I'm gonna do now is give you guys a tour here. As you can see, hopefully you can see it. The flooring is going in the back of the house. Now again, Kate's gonna have this whole thing set up. So we've got a 10-foot island that's going here, the whole kitchen. You know what? I'll throw the design in here right about now. Okay, now you guys can see that. So this is gonna be the living room area. This used to be our dining room right here, dining room table. And then right where I'm standing technically is, this is where our coffee bar is going to be in the future. We're holding that off because, you know, again, we can only go so far with the resources we have, but the TV will now go there in the house. Closet here, they had to trench the electrical because the previous homeowner did not do it the right way, and now you can see the electrical come out for the stove, which is awesome. This up here on the ceiling here was about 2 inches lower than the rest of it. There was this weird drop down, so we removed that. The kitchen refrigerator used to be right here. That's going away, and the pantry will go in the end, as you guys saw that there. Okay, this used to be our living area, but now we're gonna turn this into the formal dining. That out there is the sunroom, and then as we take you around, it's gonna be super dark in here, so bear with me. This is the main bathroom that is now being reworked in the household here. That is my studio that we used to do all the videos in. Bedroom, you know, bedroom on the other side. And then we come over here into this part of the house. You guys can see it goes out to the garage out there. This is our laundry space. And then there used to be a pantry right here. And the pantry was right here. Now that is gonna be a half bathroom. So that's what's going on. I'll show you guys over into our bedroom as well, which is like crazy talk right now because as you can see, as we work through it, there are the kitchen appliances we had in the home before. There will be no microwave hanging off the ceiling. And then that is the only working bathroom we have currently. So I know this video is a little bit unorthodox, but like, man, things have changed, right? We had the soffits up here that hung down and the microwave is below that. All that crap is going away. So I'm excited for that. You know, like I said, ultimately the wife is gonna get the house that she had hoped to have. So I'm excited for her.
Oh man. All right, so her kitchen just arrived. I know you can't see it, but these are all the boxes. All the way back over to there. Down here. I have no idea what all this stuff is, but the boss will. It's good news. We got flooring going in.
And I really wanted to shoot this to give you guys an update here. You know, this is not, it's not the funnest thing. It's been a big deal. I mean, it's been hard on Kate. It's been hard on the kids. It's been hard on me. And, you know, I'm not here looking for sympathy or empathy. I'm just sharing my journey with you guys. The things we wish we would have known, okay? So even though I'm in a non-flood zone and I'm 43 feet above sea level, I wish that we would have had flood insurance on the property. Now, would we have gotten everything covered and got the renovation? No, and I wouldn't even try to take advantage of the system like that. I'm not wired like that, but it would have been really nice to have them contribute to the damage that was done. You know, it cost us $7,000 just to get all of the old flooring tore out of the house. And yeah, we paid a premium, but that's what you need to do during times like that because everybody's busy and they get to pick their jobs. And if you want it done, that's the way it has to work. So it cost us $7 grand there. The thing I didn't share with you is we hired a contractor that we found off of Thumbtack because everybody we called was super busy. They had great reviews on Thumbtack, and within the first week, they fired their drywall crew off the job. Now, they had cut the drywall at the outlets in the house, which is already a mistake. And then they made some other mistakes in the home, crooked walls that they were repairing, and I called them out on it. And the general contractor showed up and fired the drywall crew that week. And within the next week, they hired another guy, came out and started doing some repairs. And then I noticed some inconsistencies. And when I called them out on it, they said they weren't gonna fix it. So we ended up firing that crew. Now, we got a great referral from a friend of ours who had their home rebuilt, and he worked us into that. So the general contractor that's working our home now has been outstanding. The despite what you see here, because we see the progress finally. Listen, man, this was a huge ordeal. They had to fix a bunch of stuff that wasn't done correctly in the house in the past. All of those things have been corrected. I'm super proud of the condition of the home. When we take care of the water mitigation, we're gonna be like rock solid here. And then next year, we're gonna do the outdoors, the windows, the pool, everything. And then this house is gonna be an oasis, and we're jacked for that. Not the way we want to learn it. So again, rule number one, don't pick the lowest house in the neighborhood. Even if you're 40, 50, 60, 80 feet above elevation, that won't matter if you're the lowest property. So that's rule number one. You definitely want to make sure that you know that before buying a home. You can check out the elevation maps, usually at the county, and the surveys show those things too. So that's important. A lot of the newer construction developments, these homes, they really focus on that. So that's usually not an issue, but how close are you to water? That's another thing. Again, getting homeowners insurance does not include flood insurance. You have to add a policy. So even if you are in an X flood zone, which is a flood zone, they're all flood zones, FYI. According to FEMA, every home is in a flood zone, but X does not require that policy. Now, I'm adding that policy now because I don't want to do this again and I can't afford to. And that policy is going to cost me $430 for the year. Well worth it. And again, if this was to ever happen again in the future, I would now have coverage, which I didn't have on a standard policy. So that is another thing that I think you should absolutely look at. Yes, it's an added expense, but y'all, I'm gonna be real with you guys. By the time we're done with the interior renovations of this home, we're gonna be somewhere in the range of $130,000 deep. And that is not me flexing, y'all. Trust me, I didn't budget for this. It's taking my entire life savings to make this happen. It has definitely been a challenge, and we're so grateful for the clients that have trusted us. I mean, honestly, you guys are helping us rebuild this home, and it's a huge blessing, and I can never ever repay either the Lord or our clients for trusting us to go through this process. And again, I'm so happy that none of them experienced this, but that's the reality of it. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, if you'd have told me a year ago that we would have to foot the bill for this whole thing, I can't imagine ever getting it done. And it's amazing how the human brain works, and like when you have problems, you figure out how to solve them. We have had to take a loan, which was not ideal, but it had to happen. It was not for the whole amount. We didn't know what the whole amount was going to be. We could have probably got back in the house for around $30,000. So I just wanted to give you that insight as well. Again, we're going beyond that point, but y'all, if you're going to move out of your house and you have the ability to do the thing that you were hoping to do, you don't want to do it again. We're not moving in and out of the house. We're getting all of this stuff done now, so we don't have to deal with it anymore. And putting the house back and then moving back out 6 months later to do the things we want to do, that just didn't make sense to us. And I know I'm rambling a lot here. Hopefully this helps you. The thing I want you to know is, like, we're not planning on moving, right? We know what happened, we know why it happened, and we know how to fix it. So for us, the house, like I shared before, we only had a couple inches of water in the very back of the home, and the rest of the house got wet because the block absorbed it. And concrete's porous, it's different, it acts a little bit different. But the things that we're doing are gonna mitigate that. Can we control whether the house ever floods again? No. I mean, if we got 24 inches of rain, nobody's surviving that. But if we got another 12 inches of rain, could we withstand that in another 6 hours? Yeah, with what we're doing now, we absolutely can. So I'm not worried about that. We're 1.93 miles till toes in the sand from my door to Indian Rocks Beach. We love it here. We've had opportunities galore. Our community is amazing. I'm wearing my Florida Strong shirt today because it's what we are, right? We're a very resilient community, and people have been so helpful, from our neighbors to the contractor that we're working with now, and just the overall community. And I know it sounds crazy to say out loud that somebody could go through something like this and they're not like disgusted and ready to run for the hills, but like, we're not wired that way, and it doesn't make us better than anybody, but man, we love it here. It's 76 degrees today and the sun is shining in February. Yeah, we had to pay the ultimate price, but I'm gonna be honest with you. This is basically the worst thing that could happen, because if a tree would have fell through the house, we've got everything covered, right? But it didn't, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, a home is what you make of it. A house is just a thing and stuff, and my family's safe. you know, our community's safe and we're rebuilding and we're part of that and we're grateful to be part of it. I don't want to go through this again. My wife doesn't want to go through this again. So we're going to do everything we can to assure that never happens again in the future. And we're definitely going to make sure that our clients are extra protected. And like I said, I'm very fortunate none of them having to go through it so far. But hey, it might happen in the future, but we want to give you guys that update. Now, as this project rolls along here, the next few weeks, things are going to start to happen. Appliances show up next week. The flooring is already starting to go in. And he assures us that we'll probably be in the house in approximately 5 weeks. So I hope to give you guys the full tour here as we get this thing completely renovated and rebuilt. And again, key takeaways, add flood insurance even if you don't have to. Right? Make sure that your insurance is replacement cost, not actual value. That's a different conversation for a different day. Make sure you're checking the elevation, not only of the property, but in adjacent properties as well, because that's going to tell you if you're the low man on the totem pole. And most importantly, don't let, you know, the negative outweigh all the positives and the benefits. We have been blessed beyond our wildest beliefs. Since moving to Tampa Bay. We've been here for 6 years. It'll be 7 years in December, and we got no plans of leaving. And I hope this video was helpful for you guys today. I know it's one of those weird, Juan's not in the studio, the lighting's not great, but man, I still get to look out back, and even though it's a hot wreck right now, I'll show you guys, right? You look out there, that's my pool, those are my palms, and the Gulf of Mexico is no more than a 7-minute drive from my house, and I'm grateful for it. So thank you for hanging out with us today. I hope this update helps you in some way, shape, or form. Learn the tough lessons, ask the questions. If you guys want to ask me more about it, put them in the comments below or reach out to me. All my contact information is down below. We did 60 Zoom calls scheduled in the month of February, which is bananas, with people just like you who are considering relocating to the area. And if that's you, feel free to reach out and ask the questions. I want to make sure this doesn't happen to you, number one, but more importantly, I want to make sure you're able to live your dream. So feel free to reach out. YouTube's going to put up 2 more videos. As a matter of fact, I'll put the video from the original update in here so you guys can kind of get a hang on that. And as always, and until next time, go out and live that Tampa life.